It begins not with a screaming match, but with a heavy, suffocating silence at the dinner table. You lie awake next to the person you promised forever to, feeling entirely alone in the dark. The small quirks you once found endearing now trigger a deep, visceral resentment. You start staying late at the office just to avoid going back to the house. A minor argument over household chores escalates into a screaming match about wasted years. The word divorce is finally thrown out like a live grenade in the middle of the living room. A terrifying stillness follows the explosion as you both realize there is no taking it back. You move your belongings into the guest bedroom, officially separating your daily lives. The tension in the house becomes so thick that even the dog hides under the furniture. You secretly Google the best divorce attorneys in your city while sitting in your parked car. Your first consultation with a lawyer feels surreal, like discussing the end of someone else's life. The lawyer asks you to detail every single financial asset, property, and shared debt. You both initially agree to keep things amicable and fair for the sake of the family. That illusion shatters the moment you receive a heavily worded legal document from their attorney. You realize they hired a notorious, aggressive shark designed to completely destroy you. Panic sets in as you discover the joint bank accounts have been unexpectedly drained or frozen. You are forced to borrow money from your parents just to pay the initial legal retainer fees. Every text message you send is now carefully screenshotted and weaponized as future evidence. The house becomes a hostile war zone where every interaction is recorded on smartphones. You pack a single suitcase in the dead of night and move into a cheap, sterile apartment. Waking up alone in a strange bed brings the first uncontrollable wave of profound grief. The discovery process begins, forcing you to hand over a decade of personal emails and bank statements. You uncover credit card charges and hotel bookings you never knew existed during your marriage. The sting of betrayal transforms your lingering sadness into a blinding, obsessive rage. You tell your lawyer to fight for absolutely everything, no matter what it costs emotionally or financially. Friends and mutual acquaintances are suddenly forced to choose sides in your personal tragedy. You lose half your social circle overnight as rumors and manipulated stories spread like wildfire. The first custody discussion turns children into leverage, bartered like chips on a casino table. You sit in your empty apartment, staring at photos of your kids, crying until your eyes burn. Weekend handovers become tense, silent exchanges in the neutral territory of a grocery store parking lot. You notice your children acting distant, repeating phrases that clearly came from your ex-spouse. Parental alienation begins to take root, twisting their memories of you into something toxic. The legal bills arrive monthly, each one a massive blow that drains your hard-earned savings. You start working overtime on weekends just to keep up with the mounting attorney fees. Mediation is scheduled, placing you across a conference table from the person who knows all your weaknesses. The mediator tries to find common ground, but the negotiations quickly devolve into bitter accusations. You fight for 3 hours over who gets to keep a piece of cheap furniture with sentimental value. Mediation fails completely, guaranteeing a long, expensive, and brutal public court battle. A judge orders the mandatory sale of the family home where you plan to grow old together. You walk through the empty rooms one last time, listening to the echoes of forgotten laughter. Packing your shared history into cardboard boxes feels like dismantling your own soul piece by piece. Deposition day arrives, and you swear an oath to tell the truth while sitting in a cold, windowless room. Opposing counsel ruthlessly interrogates you, twisting your past mistakes into evidence of terrible character. You are forced to listen as your ex paints you as a negligent, abusive, and unstable monster. The psychological warfare takes a severe physical toll, causing insomnia and drastic weight loss. You look in the mirror and see a hollowed-out, exhausted shell of the person you used to be. An emergency injunction is filed against you based on exaggerated claims of erratic behavior. You spend a holiday entirely alone, eating a microwave dinner while your kids are with them. The silence of the apartment on a holiday is so loud it physically hurts your chest. A private investigator is hired to follow you, taking photos of you having a drink with a friend. Your entire life is put under a microscope, judged by strangers in dark robes. Trial preparation consumes your every waking thought, turning your mind into an endless loop of anxiety. You step into the imposing courtroom, feeling incredibly small beneath the harsh fluorescent lights. The judge looks at you with absolute indifference, seeing you as just another case number on the docket. You sit silently as intimate, deeply personal secrets are read aloud into the public court record. Watching your ex take the stand and seamlessly lie to the judge makes your blood boil. You take the stand yourself, your hands shaking as you try to defend your character and your sanity. The aggressive cross-examination tries to break you down and make you lose your temper in front of the judge. You swallow your pride and remain calm, surviving the interrogation but feeling completely violated. Closing arguments summarize a decade of love and partnership as a miserable, transactional failure. The painful wait for the judge's final ruling stretches on for agonizing, sleepless weeks. The final decree is delivered via an impersonal email from your attorney on a random Tuesday morning. You read through the heavy legal jargon, seeing your assets slashed in half with a stroke of a pen. Alimony and child support payments are set at a brutal rate that ensures you will struggle for years. The gavel falls on your marriage, legally terminating a union that once defined your entire existence. There is no profound sense of victory or relief, only a hollow, echoing numbness in your core. You calculate the final cost of the divorce and realize it wiped out your entire retirement fund. You are 45 years old, financially ruined, and starting from absolute zero once again. The first weekend without the legal battle hanging over you feels disorienting and strangely quiet. You try to resume a normal life, but the trauma of the betrayal flares up unexpected moments. A simple song on the radio triggers a panic attack that forces you to pull your car over. You attempt to enter the dating scene, only to realize you are completely terrified of trusting anyone. You overanalyze every word a new partner says, searching for hidden agendas and future weapons. The financial strain forces you to downsize again, moving into an even smaller, older apartment. You watch from a distance as your ex-spouse publicly flaunts a new, seemingly perfect relationship. The unfairness of the situation burns, but you no longer have the energy to actively hate them. You focus all your remaining strength on the limited weekends you get to spend with your children. Slowly, you learn to navigate the awkward co-parenting dynamic at school plays and soccer games. You bite your tongue and force a polite smile when your ex walks by with their new partner. The kids eventually grow older and begin to see the complex reality of what truly happened. A fragile but genuine peace starts to settle over your small, carefully reconstructed life. You discover new hobbies and passions that were suppressed during the long, suffocating marriage. You realize that your self-worth is not tied to a relationship or a bank account balance. The financial debts slowly decrease as you maintain a strict, disciplined budget for years. You look at the final legal bill you just paid off, feeling a massive weight lift from your shoulders. The memories of the courtroom battle fade into a distant, unpleasant blur rather than a daily nightmare. You accept that a piece of your capacity for unconditional trust died in that courtroom permanently, but you also realize that you survived the worst psychological warfare a person can endure. You stand in your small apartment, looking at the peaceful sunrise through the window. The silence that once terrified you now feels like a warm, comforting blanket of absolute safety. You are no longer defined by the vicious battle that almost broke your spirit completely. You have built a fortress of independence that no lawyer or ex-spouse can ever take away. The invisible scars on your psyche will always remain, serving as armor for the rest of your life. You take a deep, clear breath, feeling truly free for the first time in over a decade. The war is definitively over, and the only territory left to conquer is your own future. You step out into the bright morning light, ready to finally live your life on your own terms.